Alright, as it is our last best of 3 of the day. It's certainly been a long one, as in the bottom right-hand corner of Blackburn, looking to advance to that playoff bracket. Storm Gaming, it is GUMIHO. And in the bottom left, from Dragon Phoenix Gaming, did manage to get the win against Dream, push himself here to the decider match. Of course, is Rogue. And this is an interesting start from GUMIHO. They're actually going to be building a barracks at the bottom, or at the top of the ramp. This is certainly interesting. So we're going to see a low ground, or a low ground in comparison to the main base. A wall at the top of the high ground leading straight up to the natural. So we should be seeing, I believe, a supply depot there, and then a second building to finish this off. If I'm not wrong, it's going to be the fast command center off this immediately into a marine, as it's just the single gas opening here from GUMIHO. But I really do like this. I think it's quite interesting. And I'm interested. I wonder how it's going to work out for GUMIHO. There's always the chance that, again, you go for this wall here, and then unfortunately the Zerg goes for an early attack, and then your production is unfortunately right there. And so we'll see. But I do like the low ground walls. I think they can actually be quite interesting if that is what GUMIHO is going to go for. Does have the factory already on the way with the second gas. And the last time we saw these two face off, again, it was GUMIHO that won. Of course, that was with some cheats. That was with a proxy 3 racks. And it's, yeah, that was definitely an unfortunate game where Rogue didn't quite have a complete handle on the situation, allowed a bunker to go up, and then from there, the game spiraled out of control. But even the game before that, you know, it was Rogue trying to be aggressive and GUMIHO holding on and being able to really, just maneuver that game quite well into a victory from a lead that he already had. So we'll see what the plan is for GUMIHO here on Blackburn. Again, we already saw how Rogue does against mech on this map, and it's quite well. It is pretty darn good. Against Dream, Dream I think played a really good game, had good positioning with his mech units, had great upgrades. Unfortunately, it was just the late game where I feel like Dream started to fall off a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see. I think it's going to be an interesting matchup nonetheless. Sorry for that little pause, but we have a medevac coming out here for GUMIHO. It does already have a pretty decently good marine count. Going to be going up to the 8, I believe. No, that he needs, but immediately into a fusion core. So it's going to be back-to-back battle cruiser games here for Rogue. Did not go for the pneumatic carapace this time, which is, again, a big reason why he was able to scout out the fact that it was BC's was because he went for the Overlord speed. Even without that, though, actually, this medevac is going out to clear out Overlords and does miss the Overlord that's coming into the main. So Rogue going to be pretty happy about that. Going to send that one straight on in to see what is up. But Overlords are going to start to go down across the map. They're going to be brought back immediately. This brave warrior is going to venture into the Terran base. Fusion core is done. BC should be started up here. And Rogue, when he goes into this main, should notice that something is up. I don't think Rogue is one to really believe that this is just a tech lab on a starport, and actually the Overlord will see the fusion core as well without scatting paths. So Rogue absolutely knows what's going on as GUMIHO here, pushing forward, does manage to get another Overlord. These Marines continuing to try and focus down a Queen as the medevac is just getting pushed back. The Lings now coming in for the surround. And this is very well done there from Rogue, even snipes the medevac. And a very unfortunate start to this game here so far for GUMIHO. Right now is just about behind in almost every metric. Does have a third base already on the way though. That of course will help him out a little bit. As Marines are going to pop out, should be able to stop these Lings from pressuring at least the front wall there of GUMIHO, who now has his battlecruiser on the way, but Spore Crawler's already being built. A Baneling Nest is being added on. I wonder if Rogue wants to get aggressive here. 8 more drones on the way, and really we'll see. For instance, if this is the last round of drones, you know, if these 11 are the last one that Rogue built, he might swarm Lings off of this as the battlecruiser is going to try and find its way on in. It's a drone, and that's about it. We'll find a kill onto an Overlord. Other than that, GUMIHO not finding too much value, and it's going to be another mech game here for Rogue. Already has the Spire on the way, though. Evolution Chambers also in production, is not even bothering with the Roaches this game. He's going straight into the Mutalisks. And again, Rogue, he really likes his Mutalisks as this BC. Let's see how much damage it can get done, and I mean, the answer is not a lot. The Spore Crawlers are in position, the Queens are in position, and it means that it's really hard for this BC to find any opening to try and collapse in here and actually get damage. There's no Yamato cannon to get rid of Queens. It really is just a battlecruiser that's gotten 2 kills, and that's going to be about it, as Rogue is taking a 4th at the gold base. GUMIHO already establishing his 3rd. It does have a 4th CC already on the way and starting on his +1/+1 upgrades. Tanks in production. He's going to be going up to 3, and at this point, we should see after this either Thor or Cyclone production is the hope, as it's just continued Hellions, though, actually, 4 at a time. These 9 Mutalisks are on the way. Is GUMIHO going to be ready? BC does manage to find an opening, gets another drone kill. Will not be able to get the kill on the Queen, though. Just going to drive by and find its way on out. Mutalisks are now out. Thor is on the way. The second one also in production, so GUMIHO knowing exactly the time. I mean, quotation marks, because the Mutalisks are already here, and if they head straight across the map, of course, we'll just be able to find an insane amount of damage, but it does not look as though that's going to be the case. With the BC on the map, they are going to hunt around and try and see what damage they can find at the 3rd base first. Have managed to skirt all the vision of GUMIHO, and well, guess what? That Missalter isn't done yet. It is just a few Marines here. And Rogue is again going to be using these Mutalisks to the best of his ability, and well, that's quite a bit. This Missalter actually positioned quite nicely. A tank will go down, though. The Thors are popping out. This Thor, though, not. Oh, this Thor might get caught out. The magic box is not the best there from Rogue. Manages to get out, though, without losing that much. Only a single Mutalisk goes down. He manages to snipe a Thor. And look at that supply. Rogue just absolutely exploding up to 173 supply. 80 workers, soon to be 91. With a whole ton of Lings and Banelings. And he's going to look to try and bust down this 3rd base. There's no question about it. I don't know if GUMIHO is going to have what it takes to hold on. Rogue looking to go for the jugular right now. And there's absolutely nothing stopping him. 2 more hatcheries going down across the map. A macro and a 5th base for Rogue. And the Banelings are going to get scouted, but the majority of this army hasn't been seen, and that's the real worry here. For GUMIHO's, here we go, the wraparound. The tanks are in position, the 2 BCs are out, the bunker is there as well as the Hellbat morphs come through, and actually, this trade is not going well at all for Rogue. The Banelings are going to try and find their way on into the mineral line, but they only get 6 SCVs so far. The BCs are being brought over, but now we see the Mutalisks dive on in. 12 SCVs in total fall. Rogue commits a lot to it, but being able to find those SCVs, I think, does finally make it work. Worth it, that's 100 workers. 100 workers for Rogue. That is insanity. As +1 flyer attacks is on the way, melee and carapace upgrades as well following suit. GUMIHO has not started his own 2-2. Right now it is just the 1-1 for these units, and that +2 attack is very important for the Thors. With that +2 attack, Thors are able to 2-shot Mutalisks with their AoE. Just gives them so much value as these rocks and debris is going to be knocked down, and Rogue is taking a 7th base already. A 6th and a 7th. Is going to look to take an 8th. He is just absolutely exploding onto this map. He realized his mistake from the last game. He wasn't greedy enough as 3 battlecruisers are finally out. But man, oh man, GUMIHO right now is only at 4 bases, and it's 98 workers for the Zerg. He's mining almost 5 to 1,000 minerals more per minute. And right now, it's just actually continued battlecruiser production. Gonna be going up to 4 with 7 Thors. It's a scary army as the Mutalisks gonna try and dive on in here. Immediately, we see the Yamato cannons go down, 3 Mutalisks fall. That is it. Although the Queen's maybe potentially a bit of a higher priority target, as Baneling's gonna try and roll on through, and uh-oh! These can go straight here for the mineral line, and that should be a lot of damage. As already 12, 11 SCVs go down, 16 with another explosion. The Mutalisks trying to dive on top of the battlecruisers, able to snipe one before they just get on out. And Rogue finding so much value here, 60 to 103 workers. Rogue has so much income. He's working already on 7 bases. This is, I mean, just Rogue continuing to macro up, continuing to expand, continuing to grow in size. And I don't know if there's much that GUMIHO is going to have. I mean, he doesn't have any tanks. It's Hellbats and Thors. And unfortunately, Banelings and Lings do pretty good against that composition. As 2 Thors go down, the battlecruisers were not in position, and GUMIHO, he doesn't have any vision. He doesn't have any sensor towers. He has no idea where Rogue is. And so every time Rogue is able to just dive on in, is able to find damage, is able to just move around this map without GUMIHO having any idea what's happening. Here we go, once again, Rogue gonna dive on in. This might be the killing blow. He has so many Mutalisks, 23 of them diving on in. These Thors just don't stand a chance, as a lot of the Mutalisks do end up going down, but it's an immediate remax of 78 Lings, of 3 Mutalisks, Thors, and battlecruisers. And right now, unfortunately, there is just not a lot left here for GUMIHO. I mean, sure, he has 67 workers, but Rogue's denying bases. Rogue's taking his 8th in the top right, as once again the Thors are left in the open, and with these 3 going down, I just don't think there's anything left here for GUMIHO. Sure, he has +2, and that means the Mutalisks can't dive in. The Corruptors are now going to be built to deal with these BCs. 10 more SCVs fall, and honestly, there is just... I mean, there's a lot of supply. It's a big army for GUMIHO, don't get me wrong. You know, these 4 battlecruisers absolutely are deadly, but once these 11 Corruptors pop out, BCs aren't going to survive for long. Let's try to dive on through. Not actually going to be able to get that much value. The BCs managing to keep alive. The Yamato cannons, and they get on out. +3 weapons on the way. As, another Thor gets caught, and GUMIHO, he has such a large army, but it doesn't matter if it just keeps getting caught out. The Thors are trying to be brought over, but the battlecruisers are going to start to go down. This base has to be lifted off. The supply is dropping, and Rogue gonna be able to take game number 1. All right, this is it. Last life for our player in the bottom left-hand corner of Hardwire. From Sidestorm Gaming, it is GUMIHO. And in the top right, his mutalist control is just too good. And he's gone mutalist every game. And guess what? Pretty good win rate with them. Actually didn't go them though in game 3 versus GUMIHO in their first series, but that of course was a cheese. For Dragon Phoenix Gaming, it's Rogue. Uh-oh. It's this build again. Rogue did it in game 1 and he wants to do it again. Extractor at 17, Pool at 17. We're gonna get just a little bit aggressive. And we'll see if GUMIHO's gonna be ready for it. No cheese this time, no aggression from GUMIHO. The last time that Rogue did something like this with the 14 pool into the roaches, GUMIHO held it well on this map, on Hardwire. Actually held it extremely well. But this is different. Because there's two options here. Either it's going to be immediately into the roaches with the gas, or it's going to be speedlings and banelings coming across the map trying to just bane bust through GUMIHO's army. And we'll see which one it's going to be right now. As Rogue, Queen, a few lings on the way, we'll be sending them across the map, and speed will be started up much sooner than it would otherwise with a regular opening. Factory on the way for GUMIHO does have the low ground command center, but 4 lings are going to be headed across the map. Now, GUMIHO has been doing a good job of keeping his Reaper at home in games like this. He actually, unlike most Terrans who will send their Reaper across the map, GUMIHO prefers his to stay in his main base and will do so again. Kills the sweeper bot. An absolute travesty as the critter does die, and that is an unfortunate death that we will mourn forever. That's Rogue. Let's see what the plan is. The 4 lings are across the map. Speed is going to be finishing up. Is he actually going to try and be aggressive, or will it just be not that? Will it just be Rogue using this to try and apply a little bit of pressure and then backing off? I really can't imagine that it's going to be, though. I mean, this is Rogue we're talking about. Rogue has no qualms with being aggressive, and look at this timing. Finally sees the Reaper move out, is going to move in with the lings. Of course, the CC is already done, and that's why GUMIHO is going across the map, because he knows that it can't be canceled, but a few SCV kills will be looked for from as Rogue, who is getting a 3rd base, and doesn't look like he's going to be going for any massive ling swell just yet, as Hellions are already out, so the SCV will go down, but these lings should actually end up falling. So far, the 17-17 pool or gas pool not really working out for Rogue. Not getting a lot of value for it. Doesn't slow down the CC. Actually invests quite a bit into that and slowing, because he slows down his hatchery. He invests drones into it and just kills an SCV. It's not what we would call worthwhile. The starport is on the way, and it looks as though we are going to be seeing Bio once again from GUMIHO. That's a tech lab on the way, potentially for Stim. Could also be for the swap over into a Cloaked Banshees. As, Hellions in the natural. Rogue, are you ready for this? Doesn't manage to split his drones just yet, but gets the kills onto the Hellions. 5 drones go down. Should see a 6th. As the Reaper does end up falling. Overlord is cleaned up. Immediately a Banshee started up, and does look as though it's not going to be Cloaked Banshees. Or immediately the medevac started up, and it doesn't look like it's going to be Cloaked Banshees. As Rogue at home is only sitting at 33 workers right now. This Overlord being pushed back. GUMIHO not going to try and commit that Viking on in. Still does have other options to try and get rid of a few of these Overlords at the fringes of the map. As more Hellions are being brought over, and the swap over did eventually come through after the medevac, so we will be seeing Banshees minus the cloaking. As another Overlord is going to go down, a 3rd CC on the way for GUMIHO. An attack lab on the way on this barracks. Guys, here we go. Hellions making their way to the main. We're lifted on in with the medevac, looking for these one-shots on the drones. Manages to get a clump there. Looking for more, only get 6 and a good pickup from GUMIHO. He's going to be able to find their way on out. As it will indeed be Bio. Stimpack started up. More barracks on the way. Actually going to be going up to 4 racks here is GUMIHO. Not sticking with the odd number that most Terrans usually do, where you go from 1 to 3, 5, and then you finally end it off with 8. Straight up to 4. As 1-1 has been started up for both these players. And at home, Rogue getting up to 48 workers, but actually still is not even ahead of the Terran. It's a 1 worker difference, and that's really not a lot. It's mostly been because GUMIHO has been so annoying with these Hellions, just finding so much value with them. He's gonna get another juicy shot off. Should be able to snipe a 10th. And this is actually starting to get insanely out of control as 22 drones have gone down for 9 Hellions and a Reaper. It is absolutely worthwhile. And GUMIHO is in such a great spot in this game. And he's looking to take a 3rd. Marine production has started. Rogue is going to look for a bit of a counterattack here. Use these links to stop this command center from landing, but the Banshee is just brought back. The Banshee itself also managed to find some kills during that, I think, into the natural. Oh, as the Lings committing on into this army, but the medevac is here, and honestly, the Marines trading quite well. Not entirely sure if that's what Rogue want to do. 32 drones or Lings have gone down. As right now, GUMIHO is going up to 8 barracks. 8 barracks on 3 base. Rogue has managed to reestablish the drone lead, 65 now to 58, but still it's not as comfortably, or as much as you would like to be comfortable for as Rogue. Currently he's working on his bailing nest. A 4th base is also on the way. Spore Crawler is being reestablished. Macro Hatchery as well, plus 2 ground carapace. It doesn't look like the ground attacks, the melee attacks, is going to be started up anytime soon here by Rogue, who is working on Burrow as well. But it's 3 hatcheries at a time, and I mean, Rogue has just been doing this so much, adding on a ton of hatcheries at once. This hatchery will be attacked and actually will get canceled. Rogue not going to try and commit the units to hold that. Didn't think he had the time either. Cancels it right away. He's going to then dive on top. Snipes a Marine and gets on out. But GUMIHO right now in a pretty solid position. Again, got a lot of damage with those early worker kills. Sitting ahead in that resources lost. Committed a lot of Hellions to it for sure, but is now comfortably into his bio army. He's got sniped the high energy queen. Scans go down, looking for snipes on a creep tumor. He's going to fight these Lings for as long as he can, as the medevacs need to pick up his units. Will finally do so and get on out. As this Banshee's still being annoying, trying to harass that building base. We'll have to get out as the queens are brought over. 2-2 started up for GUMIHO. It's going to be a bit later than that of Rogues, though. That is already on the way. Groove Spines as well, so we are going to see Hydralisks from Rogue. But look at the supplies. It's 157 to 120. GUMIHO's 91 army supply. And I'm not sure if Rogue is going to be able to hold this. I mean, Centrifugal Hooks isn't done. There is so much army for GUMIHO, who again is working on 8 barracks. This is a massive timing attack that's going to be coming through for GUMIHO. He's not quite hitting it with 2-2, but he's looking to establish his position. Look at the pre-split. I mean, scans are going to go down. Creep is going to be cleaned up. And GUMIHO just spreading his units as far as he can. Only has 2 tanks to bolster this, though. So that means he can't really push that aggressively. But still just does have so much more than his opponent, as Rogue, to establish a 6th base, is looking for a wraparound here. But Marines are diving on in. Bailings roll through. A good pickup from GUMIHO. He's actually going to try and find some value getting singular Banelings to go off, or Banelings to go off on singular Marines. Now dropping into the main though, but the medevacs are going to go down. Still trying to find value, but transfuses come through. Banelings roll on in. Marines are stranded right here, as that's a massive counterattack from Rogue, not even looking for the surround, just trying to find damage back in GUMIHO's base. And that's going to prompt GUMIHO to now push forward as Bailey's rolling through. The split's coming through. Actually, Some amazing splits from GUMIHO, but now Rogue has suddenly taken a supply lead. It's 30, 40 workers go down. The third base has been cleaned out. The natural has been cleared out, and GUMIHO is trying to go for the juggler across the map. All the banelings are down. Only 5 of them left. GUMIHO continued to try and find this trade. The tank is still alive. The Banshee is still wreaking havoc. The banelings are falling, but laser being produced still. Laser coming out. GUMIHO is going to have to back on up as Rogue manages to handle this perfectly, and the second tank was not there to help. GUMIHO's going to continue to try and push. He needs to continue to try and push. He doesn't have any options left. He's at 22 workers. It's 2-2 versus 2-2, but there's so many banelings, and that means that this group of Marines is just not long for this world, as GG Rogue is going to go on, advance to the playoff bracket. GUMIHO, unfortunately, not going to be able to make it out.